Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Mandeham Shri Gurum Shri Udapatakamelam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatham Vidam Tam Sajivam Sadvaidam Savadudam Parjana Saidam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vidam Sha Ye Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanda Radha Kanda Namostude Tapta Kanjana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sude Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpadarupecha Kripa Sindhu Bevacha Patidanam Pavanebhyo Vishnavebhyo Namo Namah Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Budale Srimade Bhaktivedanta Swamini Dinamine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Sadi Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Guruve Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadare Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tad Bhaktaya Namo Namo Hare Krishna Hare Om Tat Sat. Welcome all the devotees for today's Mukunda Mala Sotra class. So we are reading Sloka 11. Bhavajaladigatanam Dvandavatahatanam Sudadruhit Bharaditanam Vishama Vishayato ye Majjadam Aplavanam Bhavadi Sharanam Eko Vishnupoto Naranam Bhavajaladigatanam Dvandavatahatanam Sudadruhir Kalatra Rana Bharadhitanam Vishama Vishayato Toye Majjadam Aplavanam Bhavadi Sharanameko Vishnupoto Naranam. Okay, Sachi Mataji. Okay, Tarini Mataji, can you please?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Bhavajalati Gatanam Dvandavatahatanam Stutaduhitir Kalatra Trana Bharadithanam Vishama Vishayitoye Majjatam Aplavanam Bhavati Sharanam Eko Vishnupoto Naranam.
Okay, thank you, Mataji. Sachi Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Translation. The people in this vast ocean of birth and death are being blown about by the winds of material dualities. As they flounder in the perilous waters of sense indulgence, with no boat to help them, they are sorely distressed by the need to protect their sons, daughters, and wives. Only the boat that is Lord Vishnu can save them.
Very good. The people in this vast ocean of birth and death are being blown about by the winds of material dualities as they flounder in the perilous waters of sense indulgence with no boat to help them. They are sorely distressed by the need to protect their sons, daughters, and wives. Only the boat that is Lord Vishnu can save. So we all know that we are drowning in the ocean of material existence. So this ocean of material existence is compared to the vast material ocean. And if we are there in drowning in that material ocean, just for example, Indian Ocean or Atlantic Ocean, if we are drowning, who can save us? Can anyone save us? Can we depend upon our sons, daughters, wives, and other relatives? Can anyone? No, nobody can save us. So by chance, if you are fortunate, if some boat is coming, some ship is coming, and if they throw some rope and we can be saved by them, isn't it? Similarly, in this ocean of material existence, Bhavasagara. So what is that Bhavasagara? The cycle of birth and death, Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadhi. And we are suffering by the winds of material dualities. So in the Bhavasagara, in the material existence, we are suffering by the winds of material dualities. That is, dualities means Dvanda. Okay, happiness, distress, good, bad, victory, failure, isn't it? Hot, cold. So like that, these are all dualities. We are suffering in these dualities of material existence. And we think that, our children, sons, daughters, or wives, husbands, or parents, or other relatives can help us to get out of this material existence or turmoil. Okay. We are kicked by the waves of ocean. Okay. Every time we are being kicked, the waves takes us away, then brings to the shore. Again, we are taken to the ocean. Again, we are brought to the shore. Like that, we are being carried by the ocean of this material ocean. That is the Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadhi, not knowing what we are going through. Okay. And we take shelter of our own people. No, just like how Draupadi first took shelter of her own people, Panchapandavas, then Bhishma Pitamaha, Dronacharya, and Dhritarashtra. But nothing could happen. She could not get any help from anyone. Only when she sincerely called out, "Oh Dwaragavasin," Krishna helped her. Similarly, if we need some help, we need the boat that is Lord Vishnu, who alone can save us. All others are infallible soldiers. All others are infallible soldiers. The husbands or wives or parents or children or friends, whoever it is, they're all infallible soldiers. They cannot help us. They cannot help us. We are all just drowning in this ocean because of our own karma. Our own karma. Just, you have, this coconut. We are frying this coconut in its own oil. Okay, for making curries. We are frying this coconut in its own oil. So it is getting burnt with its own oil, isn't it? What a pathetic condition. Similarly, we are also being burned in our own karma. Just like how the coconut is being burnt or being fried in its own oil, we are also getting burnt with our own karma. And what is the fire? To fry this, or we need fire, no? Without fire, it is not possible. What is the fire? Ahankar. So we are burning in the fire of ahankar. What is that ahankar? That I am this body, this is my house, this is my wealth, this is my children, and these are my children. No, these are my relatives, my friends, who will help me in all respects. But can they help? Because as Prabhupada says, that they're all infallible, they are all fallible soldiers, not infallible, fallible soldiers. Who is the infallible soldier? Only Lord Vishnu. Oh, so if you are drowning in an ocean or in a river, if somebody comes with a boat and help us to get out of that, there's nothing like that, isn't it? Similarly, so from this dualities of material existence, from the cycle of Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadhi, who can help us? Only Lord Vishnu can help us. Nobody else can save us. Because all others, be they our near and dear, our wealth, our influence, or our name, fame, whatever it may be. Nobody can save us. Only Lord Vishnu can save us, or his pure representatives. Apart from them, nobody can. As I told you, they're all fallible. We want Lord Vishnu or his pure bona fide representatives to save us. So we have to take shelter of the Supreme Lord or his bona fide representatives. Apart from that, there is no go, there is no other way. So materialists sometimes philosophize that dualities such as heat and cold provide an interesting variety of spice to life. In truth, however, although we may romanticize about life in this temporary world of duality, its main quality is misery. So some materials sometimes they philosophize what it should be there. There should be heat and cold. There should be bitterness and sweetness, right? Sometimes it should be sour. Sometimes it should be bitter. Sometimes it should be spicy. Then only there should be some, maja in the life. Otherwise, there's no, what do you call, interest. Nothing is interesting. So that is what they think. But actually, this is all miseries, total miseries. Whatever we get, we may have lots of money, we may have lots of name and fame, and we may have good relatives near and dear, and who offers unconditional love. Can they help us in such situations? No, they cannot help us, isn't it? We may fall sick. We have to suffer. We have to eat the pain. Can anyone else help us? No, we have to undergo that. We have all the facilities. We have good Dunlop bed, it's very soft. But there is no sleep. What's the use? You can buy good quality bed by paying money, but can we buy sleep? You cannot buy sleep. So similarly, so in the material world, we cannot take shelter of anyone if you want to get out of this material existence. So the only person who can give shelter and who can take us away from this material existence is the Supreme Lord Vishnu. So Prahlad Maharaj has described this world as a place where we meet up with things we don't want and are separated from what we love. So how much ever we plan, we are meeting with people or with situations that we don't like. We don't like, isn't it? And also we are separated from what we love. Something happens to our near and dear, so much of attachment. If they leave this world, we are in so much miserable condition. We don't want to leave them, but will of the providence takes them away. What can we do? We cannot do anything. So that's why here it says, we either hanker for what we lack or what we lament upon losing something valuable. Whenever we seem to run into smooth sailing on the sea of human affairs, we know either consciously or at the back of our minds that we are being pursued by time, the ultimate destroyer. So time destroys everything. Time is the ultimate destroyer. So in a span of 100 years, what all we are going through, how much pain, how much pleasure, if you just make a balance sheet of all that we have gone through from our birth, time of birth, till this moment, what will be? Happiness will be more or sorrow will be more? Which will be more? Happy moments are more or sorrowful moments? What's your opinion? Is it 50-50 or 90-10? Yeah, Prince Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. We don't have the capacity to judge also, Prabhu.
It's very difficult. We will not be able to keep an account of what we have gone through. But we will remember all the painful moments. Happy moments hardly will remember, isn't it? Anything bad has happened, any misery, we can recall very nicely. But happy moments, very difficult to recall. Anyway, it's just we think that we are happy, but we are not happy, because this material world is designed in such a way. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Dukhalayam Ashashudam. So in a place where it is Ashashudam and Dukhalaya, place of miseries, how can we search for happiness? It's not possible. So time destroys everything. Ultimately, time is the element that destroys. It makes us forget everything. We don't remember what exactly at this particular moment we were doing yesterday. That's our memory. So time makes us forget everything.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Tarni Mataji is thinking, what did I do yesterday? It's all doing that.
Time destroys everything. And if time element is not there, and if we could, and not only that, if the memory power is there, of all our previous lives, if we could remember, then we will go mad. So it is the blessing of the Supreme Lord that forgetfulness He has given to us. He says, Mataha Smriti Jnanam Apohanam Cha. He has given us the remembrance, the knowledge, the forgetfulness, everything. So the pain is also inevitable. We should have pain. Just imagine if you don't have pain. Is it good? If you don't have pain, what will happen? Why pain is needed?
To know the danger.
Yes, to know the danger. If you don't get pain, if you put our hand in the door in between and close it, no pain, we will lose the hand. We will not try to save our hand because there is no pain. We'll lose our limbs. We won't be intact. This body will not be intact if we don't have pain. Sometimes we will not be having ears or nose or eyes or hands. Pain is must. So Krishna has designed this body in such a way that we should be able to enjoy materially also. At the same time, we should have enough miseries so that we should go back home, back to Godhead, to our permanent place, where we can enjoy eternally. So that's that is his idea. He has allowed us to enjoy materially to satisfy our senses, but we should also know that this is temporary, this is not permanent, and your actual home is in the spiritual world. You have to come back. So attempting to expand our happiness, we select a marriage partner and raise a family. We may sometimes see our family members as protectors against the ravages of fate, but they prove to be, in Srila Prabhupada's immortal words, fallible soldiers. As I told you, they're all fallible soldiers. They can give you some solace for some time, but not permanent happiness, not permanent solution. Our search for security and happiness through family life merely increases our jeopardy and pain. But the more we attach to family life, to material positions and possessions, what happens? Our pain increases, our miseries increases. As Narada Muni said, when King Chitraketu's infant son died, my dear king, now you are actually experiencing the misery of a person who has sons and daughters, working a person's wife, his house, the opulence of his kingdom, and his various other opulences and objects of sense that perception are all the same in that they are temporal. So Narada Muni is instructing Chitraketu when he lost his son, Arshashoka. Now, you will know the value of something when you lose it. So Chitraketu was very happy having his son by the blessings of Narada Muni and Agastya Muni. But then in due course of time, he had to depart from this world. Okay. Then he realized the attachment is very difficult. So his Narada Muni, with his divine instruction, opened his eyes. Then he left all the kingdom. Then that's the story then. Okay, here, so that is what Narada Muni says, that King Chitraketu's infant son died. My dear king, now you are actually experiencing the misery of a person who has sons and daughters. O king, a person's wife, his house, opulence of his kingdom, and his various other opulences, and the objects of sense perception are all the same in that they are temporary. One's kingdom, military power, treasury, servants, ministers, friends, and relatives are all causes of fear, illusion, lamentation, and distress. Externally, it may appear that we are happy, okay? We are enjoying. So all this, the friends, the treasury, the power, the military power, the ministers, the servants, but everything causes fear, illusion, lamentation, and distress. Now, if you really think deeply, then we'll understand, yes, it is correct. Isn't it? If you go deep into that. They are like a Gandharva Nagara, a non-existent palace that one imagines to exist in the forest, because they are impermanent. They are no better than illusion, dreams, and mental concoctions. What is that Gandharva Nagara? It's only in the dream. Non-existent palace. Castle in the air. Castle in the air. Mataji, can you do anything? I think there is a meeting. Hello? Hello? There. അല്ല ഞാൻ ഇത് കിട്ടിയാ വേറെ ഞാൻ യൂസ് ചെയ്യാം. ഓക്കെ ശരി. Okay. Okay, it's okay, Mansi. Okay, no problem. So this Gandharva Nagara, or the castle in the air, these are all only in dreams. It's non-existent. One imagines to exist in the forest because they are impermanent. They are no better than illusions, dreams, and mental concoctions. When distress strikes, it is natural to seek shelter, and at such times, pious soul turns to the Supreme Lord, our only protector. So we should know this. Whatever said and done, we should know that there is no one except the Supreme Lord who is our soul protector. He is the only savior, no one else. Since we are in this material world, we have close relatives, connections, but as Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj says, we should live in the world with a mood of dejection. If we are not living in this world with a mood of dejection, we will not be able to practice Krishna consciousness. What is the dejection? Detachment. So if we are attached to our family, our possession, our money, our position, and all these things, we won't be able to practice Krishna consciousness sincerely, wholeheartedly. So we should live in this world in a mood of dejection. That is what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught Raghunath Das Goswami also. When Raghunath Das Goswami wanted to join Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told him, wait for the right time. Now you have to be there in your house, as a very nice businessman. Okay. Just externally, you should be a number one businessman, but internally, you should renounce. You should detach yourself from what you're doing. So, in a mood of dejection, you should do the business for the satisfaction of your parents, because that is what the parents wanted. The parents didn't want him to leave and join Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. When the right time comes, you'll come and associate with me. That's what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told Raghunath Das Goswami. So just, join your parents and do business in a mode of dejection with detachment. But, externally, you'll look like a pakka businessman, but internally, you have no connection. You are totally detached. Similarly, we also should live in this material world. That's what Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj says. If we are too much attached to our family, wealth, and other things, material, facilities, then we won't be able to attach ourselves to the Supreme Lord. Only when we detach, we can attach. Just detaching is not enough. You have to detach and then you have to attach. Both should be there simultaneous. You are simply detaching but not attaching means then it will be problem. So it doesn't mean that we are running away from our responsibilities. Whatever we are supposed to do as an householder, okay, as a husband or wife or children or parents, whatever it is, we should be doing it very meticulously. But at the same time, feel detached. So that's what here it says. So when distress strikes, it is natural to seek shelter. And at such times, a pious soul turns to Supreme Lord. So we know that there are 4 types of people who contact the Supreme Lord. Isn't it? Who pray to Supreme Lord. Who are those? Chadurvidha bhajante mam janasu kirtana arjuna artho jitnyasu arthati jnanicha bhardarshapa. Okay. So this is one such people when distress strikes. So what is distress? Artho. When distress strikes, it is natural to seek shelter. So those who are in distressful condition, they take shelter of the Supreme Lord. Isn't it? Those who want money, they take shelter of the Supreme Lord. Okay, those who are wise, they take shelter. Those who are inquisitive, they take shelter. So distress is one such category of people who take shelter of the Supreme Lord. Then we turn to Supreme Lord. So 4 types of people turns to Supreme Lord, even though for material benefits. Slowly and gradually, by the blessings of the Supreme Lord, all these desires will go away and we'll be able to take shelter without any material expectation. So this is a beginning. This is a beginning. At least approach the Supreme Lord. Take the shelter of Supreme Lord, even though it may be for material reasons. When Gajendra, the king of the elephants, was attacked in the water by a crocodile, he soon realized that none of his wives or fellow elephants could save him. We know the story of Gajendra. He was so arrogant initially. I'm so powerful. Who can defeat me? The way he was walking with the complete entourage, his so many wives and children, nobody can defeat him. But unfortunately, the crocodile caught hold of the leg. The crocodile, it's a living entity in the water, and elephant on the land. And the elephant was caught in the water. So who is more powerful? Crocodile. Elephant tried for so many days. His family tried to save him, but then left to his fate. They could not do that. They all left. But anyway, it's a story. Gajendra was, a devotee in his earlier life. He could remember by the blessing of the Supreme Lord, the stuti, the glorification or prayers of the Supreme Lord. So immediately he prayed to him, and Lord came and saved him. So they cannot do anything, said Gajendra. It is by the will of providence that I have been attacked by this crocodile, and therefore I shall seek the shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is always the shelter of everyone, even of great personalities. So even Gajendra realized that no one could save him except the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So by the will of the providence, he could recollect the prayers that he performed in his previous life. He could recite that prayers, and Supreme Lord came immediately and saved him. So none of us wants calamities. Yet when they come, they may serve as an impetus to surrender to Lord Krishna. Thus, Queen Kundi prayed, Vipada Santutas Shashwat Tatra Tatra Jagat Guru Bhavato Darshanam Yasyat Apurnarbhava Darshanam. None of us wants calamities. But when they come, they may serve as an impetus to. So when the calamities comes, we'll automatically take shelter of the Supreme Lord. There is no other go. Just like Draupadi, there was no other way. Gajendra, there was no other way. They had to take shelter. So that's why Kunti Maharani is praying here that let the calamities come again and again so that we will get the protection from the Supreme Lord. It is not that Kunti Maharani likes calamities. She loves calamities. No. Some people think that, she is a lover of calamity. If the calamities come, then she will be able to get the darshan of the Supreme Lord. When there is the darshan of Supreme Lord, there will be protection from all sides. That calamities will no longer the calamity. Each and every time Pandavas were attacked by the other parties in different ways, tried to kill them in different ways, Krishna saved them, isn't it? So Kunti Maharani knows that very well. In all the crises, Krishna saved. Now Krishna is going to depart from Hastinapura, leave, going to Dwaraka. She doesn't want. If Krishna leaves, how she will be protected? How she can have the darshan of Krishna? So to have the darshan of Krishna, to have his association constantly, she wants calamities to come so that she can have the darshan of Krishna. By having the darshan of Krishna, she will not be affected by the calamities at all. So that's the meaning of this. It's not that she is the lover of calamities. Vibhata Santuta Shashwat Tatra Tatra Jagat Guru Bhavado Darshanam Yatsyat Apunar Bhava Darshanam. Bhavado Darshanam Yatsyat. We can have your darshan. So I wish that all those calamities would happen again and again so that we could see you again and again. For seeing you means that we will no longer see repeated births and deaths. So having darshan of the Supreme Lord means we don't have to undergo the vicious cycle of birth and death. So the Kunti prayers, it's a beautiful prayers. It is in the first canto itself, first prayers, given so much importance by Vyasadeva. And she is glorifying the Supreme Lord with all his qualities, extraordinary qualities. So we should also glorify the Supreme Lord. We cannot compose our prayers because in the age of Kali, we have so many good qualities. What are those good qualities? Dull-headed. These are one good quality. Memory is not there. Less intelligent. Isn't? And we are unlucky people, always disturbed. These are the characteristics of people in the age of Kali. Prayana alpayusha sabhya kalo asmin yuge janaha mandaha sumandamadayo mandabhagya yudara. It's not, we cannot So we need the blessings of the devotees, we need the blessings of Supreme Lord. Okay? And we cannot compose any prayers that can glorify the Supreme Lord adequately. So just like the children, the small children of 1 or 2 years old, they call Papa, Mama, and different names in broken words. Similarly, even though our composition may be inadequate, insufficient to glorify the Supreme Lord, nonetheless, we should glorify the Supreme Lord to the maximum extent possible. So we can borrow the glorification of all these great devotees, personalities from Srimad Bhagavatam. Dhruva prayers, Gajendra prayers, Kunti prayers, Bhishma prayers, Gopi prayers. There are so many prayers. So instead of their praying, let it be our prayers. Put our name and pray and glorify. That is what we should do. So God will be, see, the Supreme Lord is called Adokshaja. Adokshaja means, Aksha. A to Z, A to Z. Aksha is the first and last letter of the alphabets. Okay. So using these letters from A to Z or A to Cha, whatever words you make, they are inadequate, insufficient to glorify the Supreme Lord. That is called Adokshaya. Or another meaning is beyond sense perception. We cannot understand, comprehend the attributes and qualities of the Supreme Lord. So, in whatever way, we should try to glorify the Supreme Lord, because He alone can help us. He alone can save us from this vicious cycle of birth and death. All others are our fallible soldiers. They cannot save us. Yes, they can show empathy towards us, sympathize for our situation, but they cannot save us from this ocean of birth and death. That's why it is called Bhavasagara, ocean of birth and death. So I wish that all those calamities would happen again and again so that we could see you again and again. For seeing you means that we will no longer see repeated birth and death. So this is the point. We no longer see repeated birth and death. Kundi Maharani is requesting Lord Krishna, please cut off my ties with my near and dear, with the Pandavas, with the Yadus, with the Vishnus. She's requesting, cut the Sneha Pasha. Cut the attachment with my own people. If I have attachment to my own people, then I won't be able to remember you. I won't be able to pray you sincerely because of the attachment to my own people. So cut that. That's what she's praying. Cut that attachment. And let my, focus be only on your lotus feet. So these are prayers. Because attachment to worldly relations, what happens? Will be deprived to take shelter of the Supreme Lord. So that's why she is requesting the Supreme, please cut my ties with my own people near India. So all the devotees, even Prabhupada, he cut his ties with his family members. He left home. If he was having so much of attachment to the family members, was it possible for him to take sannyasa or leave home? No. For a higher cause, for a noble cause, to save so many conditioned fallen souls like us, from this material existence. He did that. He cut ties with few family members, but he got thousands of family members for him who took his shelter and was very sincere in serving him in the mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Rupa Goswami, to spread the Sankirtana movement. Okay, so that's it. Next is 12. We'll take next week. Only 10 minutes left because I don't think we'll be able to finish this. We'll take this next week. Vancha kalpada rupesya kripa sindhu bevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo. Ananta Koti Vaishnavadi ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai.